What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. This time, let's talk about Kamen Rider Black Sun. So, this is going to be big because the actors who have been announced to play the main characters are already revealed. So, we have Hidetoshi Nishijima as the new Kotaro Minami and Tomoya Nakamura as Nobuhiko Akizuki, aka Kamen Rider Shadow Moon. That's right. So, up until this point, Shadow Moon has never been considered as a Kamen Rider. Every time that he is mentioned, he is only called by the name Shadow Moon. Yes, he does look like a Kamen Rider. Yes, he does have a belt that technically is his transformation device, although Nobuhiko remained in his Shadow Moon form for basically his entire appearances, probably save for the first episodes, I guess. So before he was completely brainwashed by Gorgum into becoming, Shadow Moon. So yeah, he looks like another Kamen Rider similar to Black. He has his own belt, and he does have a signature rider kick. So, eh, for all these years, he has never been called a Kamen Rider. So now, with Kamen Rider Black Sun, this is probably the biggest change that I've ever seen done with that series. So, yes, Shadow Moon is now officially a Kamen Rider. So, yeah, he is technically now included in the list of evil riders. So go ahead and make what you will. But yes, that's what Toei is doing with the Kamen Rider Black Sun. And going back to the actor who portrayed Kotaro Minami in this new adaptation. So what's interesting about Hidetoshi Nishijima is actually he is also part of the Shin Ultraman movie. Now, uh, probably this is gonna be a spoiler, but he is not Shin Hayata. Although interestingly, if talking about Shin Hayata, so uh, Susumu Kurobe, the actor who played Shin Hayata in the original Ultraman, or aka the original Ultraman, so he actually was a guest in Kamen Rider Black. I'm not sure which episode it was, but he was an evil scientist. So, just a nice of it's just a nice little bit of an Easter egg there. So, yeah. However, I do think that in Shin Ultraman, uh, Hidetoshi Nishijima is going to be, I think, the captain of the SSSP. The Shin Hayata, however, is going to be portrayed by Takumi Saito, who is also a very popular actor, might I add. So, yes, I think that's the biggest takeaway from the new actor. And what's interesting, another interesting tidbit about Hidetoshi Nishijima is that he is around 50 years old, and he's just slightly younger than Tetsuo Korata, who is, I think, around 53 at this point. So yeah, he's still in that somewhat age group. He probably would have been slightly younger during the time of the original Kamen Rider Black, 1988. So uh, he would still fit the kind of age group that Kotaro Minami would have been if this Kamen Rider Black Sun is, let's say, presumably, this is going to be somewhat of a sequel to Kamen Rider Black RX. Or at least if Kamen Rider Black X never happened, it's gonna be complicated. But yeah, at least Kotaro Minami would be in his early 50s. So, looking at the story of Kamen Rider Black Sun, I'm not sure if it's going to follow the original or if this is going to be a whole new retelling of Kamen Rider Black. So the main, I would say, issue that I have is that, as I've mentioned earlier, Hidetoshi Nishijima is 50 years old, but Tomoya Nakamura is only 34. Now, in the original Kamen Rider Black, um, Kotaro and Nobuhiko are of the same age. In fact, episode 1 happens on their birthday, so they were celebrating it together on the same day. So I guess it made them the perfect candidates to become Black Sun and Shadow Moon, the candidates to be the next century king. So I'm not so sure about that part. Again, considering that Tomoya Nakamura is too young compared to Hidetoshi Nishijima. So what I'm probably thinking is that this Kamen Rider Black Sun is most likely, presumably, going to be a new retelling. So probably forget everything you knew about Kamen Rider Black, and we're going to start fresh with this one. That's what I'm thinking. Compared to the compared to Shin Kamen Rider, which is also coming out next year, I think Shin Kamen Rider is going to be a more faithful adaptation of the original 1970s Kamen Rider, while Black Sun is going to be a completely new story. So, what I'm probably thinking here is that, you know, Kotaro Minami has been Kamen Rider Black for several years, and then later we do see Shadow Moon introduced. So, probably we are going to see a Shadow Moon with a transformation. Remember, the original Shadow Moon never actually had a transformation sequence. Yes, Nobuhiko was Shadow Moon, but he never actually transformed the way Kotaro did. So his transformation was basically forced. So he never said henshin or anything. He just like he just went like that and boom, he's Shadow Moon. So yeah, they probably are going to get two like different people from two different backgrounds, and then one has been uh, probably so okay, so I just hatched a brain fart here. So I am thinking of like an idea of how Black Sun is going to go, right? So like I've said, so this is my head canon. Okay, so this is probably not going to happen in the movie, or if it does, well, holy crap. I predicted something. So what I'm assuming here is that Kotaro Minami, again, he already has been Kamen Rider Black for many years and has been fighting off the forces of Gorgum for that period of time. And then, after almost 30 years, probably, uh, so Gorgum finally creates Shadow Moon. Again, this Shadow Moon would come much later. So, in order to finally defeat Black Sun. So yeah, and a lot of things are really different with this story, or with this adaptation rather. So first of all, the planned aesthetic or the planned visual for Kamen Rider Black Sun's suit, and there are actually already images going around. So I think for the suit design, he's going to be more like an SIC version. You could say that. So if you probably have seen SIC versions of Kamen Rider Black, then I guess it's kind of similar to that, or maybe in some manga form, or I believe he did have like a more imperfect version, because there is a Kamen Rider Black manga, and yeah, I think they're also going to take some ideas with that aesthetic, but like the Kingstone belt really throws me off because it doesn't look like the original. Like, it's very, very far off from the original Kingstone belt. Like, it makes me feel like Black Sun should have been a different writer altogether. So I really wish they could have, gone for an aesthetic that, again, is a bit more similar to the original Kingstone belt. And Battle Hopper is quite interesting because I think he's going to be a bit more rugged. But I do hope this Battle Hopper maintains some sort of sentience, because I think Battle Hopper is the very first rider machine that actually is sentient. So I do hope that there's a scene in the movie where Battle Hopper sacrifices himself in order to save Kotaro from Shadow Moon, and then it gives Kotaro the opportunity to defeat Shadow Moon, and then we have this kind of modernized version of Black Hole. I forgot the name of the song. So yeah, you get the point. So Black Hole Message. There we go. Now I remember. So yes, Black Hole Message. A modern version. So I want that to be recreated for the final fight of the movie. Between Kotaro and Nobuhiko. So yeah. While I still have my own reservations about the movie, I cannot deny that, mainly with the actor for Shadow Moon being too young. The design of the Kingstone belt. So yeah, those are my two reservations about the movie. But the rest, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with. So yeah, I think that's all I can think of right now for Kamen Rider Black Sun. But what do you think? So, especially to those of you who grew up watching Kamen Rider Black, just like me, what do you think of Kamen Rider Black Sun? So, leave it down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, share this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. I wonder if Kotaro is going to, like, henshin like that. Bye!